match the grounding to my nervous system state? I'm Empathic Sight, and welcome to my series on grounding. We're at week 3, I believe. Yeah. Anyways, so we were talking last week about how grounding isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. There are different states of your nervous system, whether you're hypo-aroused, hyper-aroused, just, whatever. There's different ways that we can do grounding. That's why sometimes people say the grounding doesn't work for them, because maybe they're not doing the right one. There's also people who can't internalize visualizations, and that's normal too. Anyways, so what I'd like to talk about today is matching the grounding technique to the state in your nervous system, because learning about which one will work best for your situation is half the battle. So if you're hyper-aroused, so if this means that if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or like there's too much going on with you, this is where the calming techniques would come into play, such as slow breathing, gentle pressure. Sometimes you put your hands right here on your temples and you actually press. It can actually help you with that slow activation. So that's a grounding technique that would work with hyperactivity. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're in hypoarousal, which means that you're numb, your body's shut down, you're feeling a little apathetic, like you just don't care about anything, that means that your body's activation is down here. So breathing techniques and gentle calming, that's actually possibly going to make it worse. What you need in that situation is for your body to be stimulated. So this can be done with movement, with sound, with touch, with anything that stimulates your body and gives you something to focus on. I often like to do tapping because it helps me to activate both sides of the brain, especially when I'm feeling numb or shut down, and it actually helps to activate and bring me back to my baseline. Another thing that I do when I'm feeling, hypo-aroused is I'll actually splash cold water on my face because it helps to shock the system, and that stimulation actually wakes up my system and allows me to come back into my window of tolerance and make me feel like, okay, this is more like me. Remember that grounding is not a one-size-fits-all. It's not perfect. And these are just 2 examples of arousal states that that we can think of. There's so many different kinds of grounding. So it's not all breathing, it's not all visualization. Sometimes it's movement, sometimes it's touch, sometimes it's listening to something. So once we find the tool that matches our state of nervous system, then grounding becomes a lot more effective. It's not perfect, and we're not here to look for perfection. We're here to look for the journey. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Please leave a comment down below on what your favorite grounding exercise is, and I'd love to hear the conversation. Anyways, please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share, and as always, thanks for watching.